Hello and welcome to the Edu-Leaders Show on the Edu Bulletin, where we bring you the latest insights and trends from the world of education. I'm Daisy, and I'm excited to guide you through this episode. We have an esteemed guest joining us, Sri Ajay Mishra, IAS, retired, former Special Chief Secretary of the Telangana government and National Vice Chairman of UNAccc. In our interview show, Sri Ajay Mishra talks about how private and government schools should work together in collaboration for the future of students. Now, let's move directly into our interview. Over to you, Rumani. Let's hear what Mr. Ajay Mishra had to say.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us Sri Ajay Mishra, IAS retired, former Special Chief Secretary, Telangana Government, and Chairman of Telangana Red Cross Society. So, welcome to the summit, sir. And how's your experience here at the 20th Education Summit in Hyderabad?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Gruto for organizing this event on a very desirable topic, that is reinventing the education scenario for future. The scale, the number game which the country has to address for educating the kids is huge, and this is a good beginning for the starting of partnerships among different stakeholders for the future of education in our country.
Absolutely, sir. So, what is your thought on the role of government, increasing role of government, and also how can we prepare the students for the 21st century?
The role of government has to be a very responsible role because of the number games. If we see Telangana itself, presently about 32 lakh students are in the private sector schools and 23 lakh students are in the government schools. So the ideal situation would be both the sectors, the government and the private sectors, to collaborate in many areas for the future of the kids. Plus, while collaborating, it's a very thin dividing line which the government has to perform of regulating the private sector schools for development. See, these two terms are very contradictory, regulation and development. But that thin line is to be broken. Regulation as well as development, that is the future of the government in the sector of education in future.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views and any specific policy or change you wish to highlight when you were working in the Telangana government. So, what was that change that you really liked from your heart, and it has changed the scenario in Telangana?
In Telangana, in the government sector, the best thing which has come about in the last few years is the concept of residential schools, where from 6th standard onwards till intermediate, the poor kids come through a selection process, but all their expenses are met by the government, which means their boarding, lodging, sports, extracurricular activities, and education is in a residential environment. But the challenge is less than 10% of the kids are being taken care of by this. So how we meet this challenge with the adequate role of the private sector is to be determined in future. As I mentioned in my address today, how do we minimize the gap between the bottom 10% of the students in the government sector and the top 10% of the students in the private sector? That is a challenge for which both the private sector and the government sector has to work, and it's not an easy job. It will require best of the brains and best of the practices to be successful in future.
Absolutely, sir. Well said. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And we are very much overwhelmed to have you here.
Thank you for joining us for this enlightening discussion. We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did.